Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Houston Oilers franchise. The Oilers this year are 5-8, and one more loss, and we will have a worse record than season number 1 officially. But a lot of things just haven't changed. Our defense is still last in the league in points allowed. We are giving up way more points than the next team. We are in the middle of the pack in the AFC West right now. We are last, but we are not doing bad as far as our divisional games go, except versus the Chiefs. But we are just kind of in purgatory here, right in the middle of the league. We're not bad enough to have the number 1 pick or even a top 5 pick, but we're also not good enough to make the playoffs. We're in this kind of weird, purgatory area. Now, we do have 4 games remaining, and I would say we have some bright spots this year, but not as many as I've hoped. I talk about that because in season 1's draft, we decided not to take quarterback. And about probably 8 games into the season, we decided to switch to our backup quarterback, Phillip Waters, who we drafted in the 4th round. I guess there is one bright side to the season. Antonio Gibson is still the frontrunner for best running back in the NFL, the award he won a season ago. And if he wins it one more time, he will be a superstar X Factor. But receiving wise, I was really looking for Marvin Mims Jr. to take a really big leap. I think he's still very, very solid, but I think the question's been answered. Is he a true number 1? I don't think so. I think he's a number 2, but right now he is our best option. We have had a really good rookie season from Jesse Fisher Jr. He was an undrafted receiver, and he leads us in touchdowns with 5 total. I would say going into the offseason, we're probably going to need to add some offensive weapons, especially through the air. I think a number 1 receiver is going to be a priority, either through the draft or via free agency. I guess we'll have to see. But a really big, and I mean a really big thing we're going to have to address in the offseason is offensive line. Last year, I think we got away with a lot because DTR scrambled, and I think that our running game was pretty good. But this year, we're not getting away with the same things that we got away with a year ago. We're getting sacked a lot more. Pressure is always there in our face. We're not making clean throws from the pocket. So that's definitely going to be something we have to address. But we do have a really good rookie this year in Dave Washington, who is one of the frontrunners for Rookie of the Year for defense. And I'm hoping we can catch him because Max James, who we actually were going to draft in season 1, he was at least on our prospect list. He's number 1. But getting after the quarterback is still an issue here in season 2. We're not stacking up sacks at all, and we don't have that premier pass rush. But I think one thing that I do like is that we can play press man coverage now with Casey Burton, who was our 1st round pick. I think that adds a different type of defense to our scheme. But the thing is, we can run that man coverage all we want, but we have nobody to get after the quarterback. So it's not really as effective as you want it to be. So going into the last 4 games of the season, I'm going to start to make some moves on the roster and start to play some younger guys. Michael Wade Jr. is a 6'5" receiver who I want to get some playing time too, because I want to see what it's like to play with a guy with a little bit of size. Get him the ball, in jump ball situations, red zone situations, fades, things like that. See what happens if that ends up working out. I'm going to end up moving up Hitchcock from the practice squad. He is an interior defensive lineman, and then giving Trent Graham Jr. some playing time as well. And I just need to move some guys around, see what I can do. So as far as the depth chart goes, we're going to move Barmore at least to the edge for a couple of games just to see how it goes. He's not obviously the fastest guy, only 73 speed, so I think that could hurt him, but I'm willing to try that out just to see if he can get after the quarterback in a different way. And then interior defensive lineman, we're going to put Graham Jr., and then we're going to put James Houston, the 4th, as our 2nd interior pass rusher also. But going into this episode, I really had one goal, and it was to shore up and make sure that Christian Barmore does re-sign with us before hitting the offseason, because I would hate for him to get to the re-sign phase in the offseason and then him decline a contract. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a contract today. Now, he is very, very productive, but he needs help. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. He has 9 tackles for loss, already one higher than what they were what it was last year, and 3 sacks. And he leads our team from a defensive line standpoint in sacks. Dave Washington has 4, he has 3, but we just need more help for him. So I'm going to offer him. I looked it up a little bit, and I looked at what the fair market would be, and it was around 80-90 million. So he will get a 4-year, $90 million total deal, and he will gladly sign with us. And I'm going to make sure to get our team to a realistic cap, because I know our cap space was way above what it should be as far as realism. So I'm going to make sure to spend some money here in the offseason as we play the Browns here in this first game of this doubleheader, the Browns and the Steelers. So we are playing the AFC North, but out comes Deshaun Watson, still the starter for the Browns, still that fully guaranteed contract. I don't know how they're going to get up underneath that one, but he's going to be there for a while. So here we start this game on defense. The first throw is across the middle. This one's caught, and that's a diving Bryce Hall who was trying to make the play, and it's Sullivan for the catch. Now, the Browns have been struggling this year without Amari Cooper. It's a different-looking offense as they throw across the middle, because Amari Cooper did sign with the Lions in free agency in Season 1's off-season. 3rd and 5. We send the pressure off the edge. It's a sack. It's actually a nickel blitz. Micah Hyde gets to the quarterback, and we do force the punt on the opening drive. So they pin us deep all the way back at our 1. Here is Antonio Gibson just giving us a little bit of room. I'm going to be looking to give Gibson the rock quite a bit in the last 4 games to ensure he gets that best running back award. Here's a throw across the middle. This is Callum McDermott for the catch, and he will have the first down as well. So Phillip Waters entering his 3rd game fully as a starter. He's played pretty well so far, but this time he's under pressure by Myles Garrett. It's a sack, and it's a loss of 11 yards. Myles Garrett is definitely going to be a problem for our left tackle, Zach Tom. I already talked about the issues. There's another one. It's Farrell who beats Kevin Dotson, our left guard, to Waters, and there's nobody to throw to on that one, and he will have to punt this one away. So here is our defense back on the field. Here is Nick Chubb. Hope he gets better in real life, but not in this video game, as he breaks it inside the or just outside the red zone. He's tackled at the 28 for a big 20-yard gain. So here they are under center this time. Watson throws the flats. That is going to be a play by Nick Bolton Jr., the undrafted free agent last year. 3rd and 7. Watson, under pressure, he goes down. Anthony Bishop gets to the quarterback, and Watson had his back turned to him and goes down. Back at the 33, they kick the long field goal, and it's good, but there is a flag on the play. Running into the kicker. Now, I promise you, I was not actually controlling this guy. I usually on field goals, I let the computer actually do it themselves, and that's what happens. They get a fresh set of downs to start the second quarter. RPO action now inside of scoring range. That's a throw to about the 3-yard line, and they will mark him out there for a goal-to-go situation. Now 2nd and goal. Nick Chubb gets the carry, and it's a touchdown. And remember, we traded Sky Moore to the Browns, and he gets hurt on that one, and it is 7-0. So here we are down by 7 after that blunder of a penalty. There is Antonio Gibson getting going. Only a gain of 5, bringing it to a 3rd and 5. At our own 25, Waters throws to an open Jesse Fisher Jr., the undrafted rookie. He picks up the first down. His route tree isn't very complex. He pretty much runs drags, go routes, long crossers across the field. And that is going to be, what he's going to be as far as his team goes in the future. I think that's pretty much what his ceiling is. 3rd and 10, quick throw. This is Callum McDermott fighting through a tackle or 2, and he picks up 10. But he's just short of the first down marker. We're going to go for this one. The Browns trying to get into position, and we hand it off to Gibson, who finds the space and breaks the tackle. And he picks up a gain of 10 and gets across the 50 for a first down carry for our potential's first Superstar X Factor if he wins the award. So now we're across the 50. Here's a 3rd and 5. Waters stops, throws short, and he's got Weston Jr., who was just called up from the practice squad a couple of episodes ago. And now it's 4th and inches. Another 4th down carry for Antonio Gibson, and he picks it up. It's a 1st down. A nice long drive on this one. The defense is getting tired out. Here's a handoff. J-Ron McAllister, big-time hole, and he hits it hard for a gain of 13 yards. And we're inside the red zone. It's now a 3rd and 7. Philip Waters thought about running it that time. He throws across the middle. That's going to be Allen Robinson for a conversion. We've had 3 3rd down conversions and 1 or 2 4th down conversions just on this drive alone. So 1st and goal. Philip Waters takes off. Touchdown. He's got 4 on the ground this year already. And he will tie this ball game up at 7 apiece. The rookie out of Virginia Tech. So here we go now. 7-7. Here's a throw across the middle. Casey Burton in coverage. With about a minute to go before halftime, they find their rookie receiver. Here's Watson throwing to the sideline again. Burton in coverage. He does keep Tillman in bounds, but another catch. And now they get into field goal range at the 35 for a 52-yarder, and that's going to be right down the middle. So the Browns puts 3 on the board before half, and now we have our work cut out in the second half. So a very low-scoring game here, 10-7. Here is Waters throwing to an open Antonio Gibson downfield. Good block by Marvin Mims, pushed out of bounds on the other side of the 50 all the way to the 34 is Gibson, and it's a 1st down. Now at the 34, here's a stretch play to Gibson. He gets to the outside, puts on a juke move. He's got speed. He's still on his feet all the way to the 15-yard line, and Marvin Mims is shaken up on that play. Hopefully he's all right. Still running the football this time. Gibson puts on a move but only picks up 5 yards. And now we'll see if we can score here on this drive. Philip Waters changes the play again. Back to Gibson. A good block by the pulling guard. It's Dotson. And we get all the way to the 1. That's actually Zach Tom who got the block right there. So now we're at the 1. It's 1st and goal. Handoff. J-Ron McAllister fighting in. Touchdown. McAllister gets credit for the touchdown, even though Antonio Gibson did all the work on that drive. And we will take the lead here in the 3rd quarter, 14-10. So here is Watson now. Back on the field, throwing to left side, and somehow the receiver gets open. Micah Hyde in coverage. That was a great anticipation throw, and it's a big 1st down. The Browns are already inside field goal range. They come out here with 5 wide this time. We send the pressure. Watson out of the pocket, throws to the right side. It's Burton in coverage again, and he allows another big catch. I think the thing with Burton is he's kind of a boom or bust cornerback. Like, he's not making too many interceptions, but he's also allowing too many catches. It's going to be a sack on the next play. Derek Copeland gets in there. He gets credit for the half sack. And now 3rd and very long at the 21. And Watson's under pressure. And that's a quick throw to the right side. It's completed to Tillman, but we do get the stop, and the Browns will settle for 3. So now it's 14-13 as we start the 4th quarter. Here's a quick throw, and Philip Waters can't hit Gibson out of the backfield. And now it's a big-time 3rd and 9 to keep this drive alive and the lead. Here's a throw to an open Callum McDermott, and that one wasn't even close. So the Browns come back out onto the field now. And they have about 6.5 minutes to burn here on this drive if they wanted to. Here's a throw to the right side. That's tipped away, and it's Devin Bush in coverage. And now another big 3rd down. Pressure getting to Watson. Micah Hyde, his 2.5 sack of the game. And he stops this drive, and we have the ball with under 6 minutes to go to potentially put this game away. First pass of the next drive is going to be thrown out of bounds. Philip Waters, incomplete pass right there. Blanketed coverage, by the way. 3rd and 10. Waters in the pocket, throws across the middle. He's got Marvin Mims, who takes off. What a throw by Waters. Mims to the 5. Touchdown. What a dime of a throw by the rookie Philip Waters. Look at this. Look at from his perspective. He had to lay that perfectly over the top of the linebacker in between the two safeties, and you can't get much better than that throw. And Marvin Mims showing off that speed does the rest. And this lead is extended to 8 with the field goal extra point. So here are the Browns now, down by 8. Here's a throw out of the backfield. That's a great catch and run by Montague, who is one of their good rookie tight ends. And it's a first down all the way to the 30. So a big play already for the Browns. We rush 5. Here's a throw to a wide open Elijah Moore. All the way to the 12. And the Browns with 2 plays are within 15 yards of potentially tying this game up. So 3 minutes to go now. It's a 2nd and 10 play. Watson goes down. It's James Houston the 4th. Now I want to point out that play because there have been very few plays where we rush 4 and get a sack. We always have to send a blitz in order to get a sack. So maybe that's a sign of things for James Houston. 3rd and long, carry, and that's Nick Chubb. He gets 6. He needed 17. And it's 4th and 11. I'm surprised they ran the ball there on that 3rd down. Down by 8. This could be the game. Watson rolls to the right side. Barmore chasing. It's knocked away from Elijah Moore. And that's the rookie Casey Burton who gets a hand in there and knocks it out. And that's why you draft guys like that at the top of the draft. We'll see if we can seal it up here. Here's a carry this time. J-Ron McAllister. And the Browns have 1 timeout, and it's now 3rd and inches. A stop here, and they get possession back. Here is Waters. He stopped on that one, and it's 4th and inches. Myles Garrett on the tackle. And look at Coach Eddie George. He's going to trust his offense. It's 4th and inches. The Browns have no timeouts. They're going to run a play. It's Gibson with the carry to the outside. It's Gibson for the first down. And that's the rookie 7th round fullback selection, Kingsbury, who picked up both of those guys on that block and allowed Gibson to get freed. And the Oilers hold on to win this game by 8, 21-13. What a phenomenal showing by our defense in the clutch time. And we get a big victory on the road nonetheless, and hold on. And our playoff hopes, well, I guess they're kind of still alive. We have a very terrible shot of making it, but this was a good win. I definitely wanted to see some things from Philip Waters in his evaluation, and that throw to Marvin Mims was one of those things, like, can he drop it in a bucket from time to time? Because that's going to be something that's going to separate him from any other quarterback we may potentially bring onto the roster. Can he show that he can make those big-time throws? Now, one thing about Waters is that he's not generating a ton of points on offense, but he's doing just enough to kind of be a game manager, not really turn the football over, just be really sound at the quarterback position. But we do get a lot of pressure on Watson this game. It ends up being 2.5 sacks for Micah Hyde, 1.5 for James Houston, half sack for Derek Copeland and Anthony Bishop. And I'm loving what we're doing as far as blitzing the quarterback now. I think we can be a lot more aggressive. I don't think we're afraid to lose or anything like that. We're kind of just letting it loose, because versus the good teams that can really air the football out, like Justin Herbert, now with Bernard McMichael from the Broncos and Patrick Mahomes, we can't really send that much pressure on them, mainly because they're so good, they can get rid of the football quickly. But James Houston the 4th actually has an upgrade that puts him up +2 in speed. I think that's the first time ever in Madden I've seen a +2 speed upgrade. And James Houston deserves it after 1.5 sacks. So now we get into the second game of this doubleheader as we take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is a good one. You want to hang on, because we're in for a treat here versus the 7-7 Pittsburgh Steelers. We're fighting for draft position as well. Here in the first quarter, here's a quick throw by Waters to the rookie Callum McDermott, who has been quiet this entire year. His depth trade still isn't revealed. It's probably going to be a star, though. We get it inside the 5. Here's a 3rd and goal throw, and Kyle Phillips was the intended target, and it's incomplete. We settle for 3 on that drive. But now on defense, here is Kenny Pickett now. Seeing Ghost in the pocket, he tries to take off, and he runs right into Dave Washington, who is still second in Rookie of the Year voting, but that one will help. Now in the second quarter again, pressure on Pickett. This time he coughs it up, and it's Micah Hyde again. 2.5 sacks a game ago. He gets one right there, and Pickett had no idea he was there. So now towards the end of the second quarter, here's Waters in the pocket, throwing deep, and it's going to find Jesse Fisher Jr. all the way to the 1. He's good for one of those big plays a game, and that's a great throw by Waters. We lose a couple now inside the 5. Here's a throw to the end zone, and those long crossing routes is where Jesse Fisher excels, and we go up 14-0 at that point. But all the way to the fourth quarter, the Steelers starting to come back slowly but surely. They end up tying the ball game up, and this one ends up going into overtime. We end up winning the toss in overtime and electing to receive, and obviously if we get a touchdown here on the opening drive, the game is over. So here is Waters, a quick throw. That's Callum McDermott getting inside field goal range to the 36-yard line, and now we're at 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Now a 3rd and 6 at the 33. Waters throws short. It's McDermott again, who's been busy so far in this game, but he's 1 yard short. And Eddie George wants to go for this one. He wants to put the Steelers away, not just kick a field goal, but it will not work. It's Jaron McAllister who is stopped before the first down marker, and he may have been even shy of the line of scrimmage. So here is Pickett now, throwing across the middle. He's got Freiermuth who's got it. He gets to the 37-yard line. And now it's a big 3rd and 1. Quick throw across the middle, and that's a big hit by Bolton Jr. And now it's 4th and 1. What are they going to do? They're going to kick the field goal. This is from 54. Boswell, the kick is wide to the right. He may have been seeing John Griffey III coming around to block it, who almost did get in contact with it. And now here we are, 23 seconds. Waters scrambles, throws this one up for grabs. It's grabbed out of the air, Allen Robinson. The veteran receiver just knows what to do in these situations. Come back to the ball. And he does just that at the 33. And we bring in Podlesny for a game winner, and he knocks it through. The Oilers 2-0 in this episode after a thrilling finish there in overtime. We get the victory versus the struggling Steelers, who are now under 500. And here we are with 2 more games left in the season, 7-8, and we are still fighting here. It's one of those situations where you don't want to lose, but you also kind of don't want to win. But Dave Washington had 2.5 sacks in this game, and guess what? He's still second for Rookie of the Year. But now he's trailing Allen from the Chiefs. He's jumped Max James, but now TJ Allen is ahead of him. He's got 7 sacks, 12 for loss, 34 solo tackles, and 47 total tackles, compared to Dave Washington, who has 47 solo tackles, 91 total tackles, and 6.5 sacks. To me, Dave Washington looks like the clear number 1 for Rookie of the Year, but I guess it's based on who you ask. But in my opinion, Washington should be the front runner. So now we're 7-8, and I think my number 1 goal is to try to get Washington that Rookie of the Year. Obviously, Antonio Gibson is the best running back right now in the AFC. I obviously want him to get that upgrade. But seeing that we have 2 games left in the season, probably nothing to play for, we're 7-8. I think we're kind of just playing for Dave Washington to get that Rookie of the Year. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's where we're going to go. But we'll see, because this is interesting. I don't really know what to think of this season. I'm ready, to be honest, to get on with the next season, because obviously we're not going anywhere this season, and this season was all about developing our guys, and we'll talk about that more at season's end when we do the recap. But that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think of Waters. I think he's actually playing pretty well. I just don't know if he's playing well enough to really be considered as our franchise quarterback. And that's kind of the dilemma right now. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. See you next time. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.